by the river in a little tent. Oh, I'm just like the river I've been running ever since. It's been a long time coming, but I know change gonna come. Okay, I'm Harold Bell, and welcome to the Legends of Inside Sports and the Way We Were. That was my friend Irvin Haywood singing that great tune from Sam Cooke, A Change is Going to Come. On June 3rd, 2017, marked the day my friend and brother, the greatest Muhammad Ali, went home to be with the Lord. He was 74 years old. I met the champion on the campus of Howard University in 1967. I was working with youth gangs and at-risk children for the D.C. Department of Recreation and Parks, and the rest is community and sports talk show history. I went to Chicago to meet with him to discuss my plans for a television special I had proposed to him. Pat Patterson, head of security, picked me and Rodney Brown up at the airport, and we headed straight for the gym where the champ was working out. And shortly after his workout, he invited me, of all people in the gym, back into his dressing room. I remember Wali Muhammad, his trainer, was giving him a massage when he asked me, "Man, what do you want to do?" I explained my plans to the champ and that I wanted to do an interview related to the game called life. And he said, "Okay, we can do that in Zaire." Zaire? It was 1974, and Zaire, Africa was the place for the historical Rumble in the Jungle. There he would face the undefeated heavyweight champion of the world, Big George Foreman. I turned his invitation down. I was afraid to fly across the ocean. Ali sat straight up on the table and started to flap his arms and make sounds like cluck, 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 like a chicken. My mistake. The Rumble in the Jungle was his greatest work of art, and I missed it. But here's the kicker. He promised me if I did not go, he would grant me the first interview on his arrival back in the States. You know, Muhammad Ali was always saying crazy things, and I didn't pay any attention to him. My cameraman, Rodney Brown, could not believe I said no to Zaire, and we got back on the plane and flew back to D.C. The evening of October 4th, my wife Hattie and I joined Redskin wide receiver Roy Jefferson and his wife Candy. We met for the closed circuit viewing at Constitution Hall for the Rumble in the Jungle. I was nervous for Ali, but Roy never wavered that Ali was going to win, and win he did. In that historical 8th round, I almost tumbled from the balcony down to the main floor, but Roy caught me and pulled me to safety. It was about a week later. I'm lying home sleeping on a rainy night in my apartment in Southeast D.C. when the phone rings around 10 p.m. I pick up the phone and the person on the other end says, "Let me speak to Harold Bell." My response, "Who's calling?" The caller's response, "Let me speak to Harold Bell. Fool, this is the heavyweight champion of the world, Muhammad Ali." I sat straight up in the bed and screamed, "What's up, champ?" He said, "Do you still want to do that interview?" I said, "Yeah, man, what's up?" He said, "I'm back in the States in New York City, and if you still want to do that interview, this is my address, and I will see you and your cameraman first thing in the morning. Just call me when you get downstairs," and he hung up the telephone. I'm sitting in the bed at a cold sweat. I was broke, had no car, all money, man. I had no money, I had nothing. I got on the phone and called Rodney Brown and told him that Ali had just called from New York City and wanted us to drive up in the morning to do the interview. Rodney's response, "Harold Bell, you lying." The problem, I explained to Rodney I didn't have any money, car, or cameras. He said, no problem. Guess where we are now? He said, talking about we, talking about our elder buddy, Will Williams. We are at PBS Studios shooting a special. I got the car, Will has a credit card, and PBS got the cameras. They kidnapped the cameras from PBS, picked me up at midnight. We rolled into the Big Apple close to 6 a.m., got some breakfast, and headed to Ali's Hotel for the interview around 7 a.m. The rest is sports media history. This was the first time in the history of boxing that three independent black brothers had gained total access to the heavyweight champion of the world without jumping through hoops. We scooped Howard Cosell, Ed Bradley in 60 Minutes, and the entire sports media world, thanks to the greatest, Muhammad Ali. The interview you're about to hear is one of a kind. The next voice you hear will be that of NFL great Jim Brown, former heavyweight champion George Foreman, television icon the controversial Geraldo, boxing promoter Don King, the greatest Muhammad Ali, and disc jockey and WST gospel radio station general manager, the late Lou Hankins. The first part of the interview with Ali, we will discuss controversy, how we should see others in the eyes of God, and the definition of friendship. And then I'll come back and explain some more intimate details about this great interview with Muhammad Ali. Stay tuned.
Well, Harold has been a crusader for the rights of black people all of his life. He has also been a crusader that has had a lot of friends, not only in the black community, but the white community in sports. He's always been outstanding, always an individual, always speaking his mind, always giving you a platform to express your views. And when I was incarcerated, he did everything he could to attack those that incarcerated me unfairly. And he's one of my friends over the years. We've done many things together. So Harold is truly a man that believes in his culture and his people, and will always be that way because nobody's ever been able to change him.
This is the heavyweight champion of the world, George Foreman, for the best in sports and sports personalities. When I am in Washington, D.C., I check out my good friend Harold Bell and Inside Sports. Talking about a real champion, Harold Bell and Inside Sports.
For many fans of the sweet science of boxing, the head rat has long been Don King, a one-time numbers runner and street punk who served jail time for manslaughter. King has been called a ghetto Machiavelli, a high-stakes hustler, a celebrity promoter who has guided the careers, some say victimized, boxing stars from Muhammad Ali to Mike Tyson. And with us in Washington, Harold Bell, a pioneer in the field of sports talk radio and TV. Mr. Bell has known Don King for more than 20 years.
Hi, this is Don King of Don King Productions for the undisputed champion of sports talk. You must turn to my man, Harold Bell, and the original Inside Sports. For the best in sports and sports personalities, Inside Sports and Harold Bell are knockout.
This is the second Ali heavyweight champion of the game right there. I got all of you. Check out Inside Sports. With my main man, Harold Bell. Inside Sports. This is not that.
And now, from the playing field of Banneker to the locker room of RFK Stadium, it's Inside Sports with your host, Harold Bell. Give Harold a call at 462-3313, 462-3313.
Everybody's always talking about the controversial Muhammad Ali, heavyweight champion of the world. I talked with Muhammad, and here's what he had to say about all this.
Well, I'm just being myself, but a lot of things change. Time brings about a change. People forget. Kennedy, Martin Luther King are dead, Nat King Cole, or people like Dinah Washington I can go on, and you didn't think about that. I just mentioned it. Planes crash with 150 people on it, lawyers and people all walks of life, and next day it's all news. So these things happen then, and they believe they were right when they said them, and it's all over. We don't hold things against people. See, once you develop the heart quality, it becomes a forgiving quality. The life is as we look at it. If you wish to find faults, you can find faults in the best people in the world. If you wish to find good parts, you can find good parts in the worst people in the world. So once you get enough sympathy, enough love for mankind, enough understanding, then you overlook little faults and little errors and little mistakes. So whatever they said about me, it's all over, and I don't have time to really worry about it because when you criticize and condemn others, you're overlooking the same element in yourself. Some people don't seem to deserve the wealth, the rank that they have in life, and others, perhaps in our eyes, deserve more, but yet in the eyes of God, it's different. It is because they deserve it, though you don't see why and how. Like a friend said to a fellow I know named Billy, said, Billy, why are you so devoted to Mary? She's not beautiful, she's not attractive. Billy said, to see Mary, you must borrow my eyes. And I was saying, when we judge people, do we see with the eyes of God? Do we see what the feelings God has towards them? And when we cannot see it this way, we have no right to question why others are in this or that position. Same way as with friendship. I mean, friendship is an automatic action. Friendship is an innocent, unconscious, outgoing, a pure, deep feeling with depth. So therefore, no one can explain why one person is a friend of another.
And they say that our friendship is like our shadows. They're sticking with you as long as you're in the sun, but once you cross over into the shade, the shadow disappears. How do you distinguish your friends?
Well, I wrote something once that says, friendship is a priceless gift that cannot be bought nor sold, but its value is far greater than a mountain made of gold. For gold is cold and lifeless, it can neither see nor hear. In time of trouble, it's powerless to cheer. It has no ears to listen, no heart to understand. It cannot bring you comfort or reach out a helping hand. So when you ask God for a gift, be thankful if he sends, not diamonds, pearls, or riches, but the love of real true friends. And this is how I feel about friendship. There are very few friends. A friend is one who is always on the give. See, nothing in return. Always a thought of giving, and he wants nothing in return. A real friend holds his life cheap if it's called his friend. Anyone who considers anything more important than friendship has not yet learned the first lesson to friendship. Once we learn to regard the feelings and displeasures of our friends without looking for anything in return, then it is those who truly learn to mean the friendship. Looking for nothing in return, always a thought of giving and keep back nothing. And very few people do that. Most people, if they tip you $1 for a cup of coffee, they look for I thank you. And if your coffee costs 16 cents, you tip lady $1, she don't say thank you. You ain't better rude so and so. You didn't really give because you look for something in return. Here's a lady holding a bag full of groceries, you hold the door for her, she walk right through, keep walking. Most Christians didn't say thanks. You didn't really hold the door. See, very few people really give and don't look for nothing in return.
All right. That's my man, the one and only Muhammad Ali. You know, just going back, those first introductions and promos that you heard at the beginning of the show, the first one was the great Jim Brown, NFL great Jim Brown. The second one was former heavyweight champion George Foreman. The third one was a controversial television icon, Geraldo, then the greatest promoter ever in the boxing world. no matter what you say about him, Don King, and then of course Muhammad Ali came on, and then Lou Hankins. But those promos I was doing in the 70s, this stuff that you see being done on First Take now with Stephen A. Smith bringing all these guys on, talking about listening, man, I was doing that way back. Every radio and television sports talk show you hear or see is a copy of the original Inside Sports. That's why I thought I better get something up, on YouTube and put something on video, because a lot of people are not aware of the history of sports talk shows in America. It all started with Harold Bell in Washington, D.C. You heard Muhammad Ali talk about controversy. And I remember, once again, Earl Lord, NBA pioneer, who I helped get inducted into the Hall of Fame with the great Red Auerbach and former, the late sports columnist for the Washington Times, Dick Heller. Earl Lewis said on the John Thompson show one time, he said, Harold Bell may be controversial, but I have yet to hear anyone call him a liar. And Muhammad Ali was controversial. You know, Martin Luther King was controversial. Jackie Robinson was controversial. Jack Johnson was controversial. Paul Robeson was controversial. Because you know why? Because they all dealt with the truth. The truth is always going to be controversial, especially in our community. We want to hear the truth as long as it is about somebody else, but we don't want to hear the truth about ourselves. I remember this brother that I was working with, we supposed to be close friends. He told me one day on the job, Harold Bell, man, they really hate you. If you think they hate you, we got another guy around here by the name of Jamal, and he's one of the nicest people you ever want to meet, and they hate him too. That's what our community is made of haters, player haters, envy and jealousy. So when I brought this proposal to Muhammad Ali about an interview, I didn't want to talk about sports. I wanted to talk about the game called life. And if you hear the entire interview, you'll see Muhammad Ali was light years ahead of his time. Those things that he was saying in 1974 applies today. We are hustling backwards as a people. They hated Muhammad Ali. They tried to get this man, they tried to do everything to him, man. They tried to destroy him. But once he died and was gone, everybody loved him. Everybody loved him. I was there. You know, that's why I'm offended when they tell me they go get permission to LeBron James to do a documentary on Muhammad Ali. What does he know about Muhammad Ali? It's the same old thing, round and round. If they can't control you, they don't want anything to do with you. In 2006, a group in New York City paid Muhammad Ali $50 million for the rights to his likeness and his name. $50 million cash. And then 20% on the side for money that would be earned off advertisement. So it was a great deal for Muhammad Ali because of his age and his health. So I was happy for him, but they didn't have the copyrights to my interview with Muhammad Ali. And that's the problem. I got the copyrights and they don't want to deal with me, but that's okay. But that's okay. You know, God is definitely in charge. So I don't even worry about that. But I'm just so happy that I can bring this interview that I did with him in 1974 after one of the most historical fights in the history of the game, when he surprised the world and knocked out Big George Foreman in the 8th round. Man, one of the happy days of my life, man. Had no idea that it was going to lead up to this great one-on-one interview and that I would scoop the entire sports world. You know, then as you were listening to the interview, he was talking about how we need to see others in the eyes of God. We really do. We don't see each other in the eyes of God in our community. We see each other in the eyes of the devil. You know, everybody got a hidden agenda. Everyone has a hidden agenda. And anybody that's helping other people, you know, helping the downtrodden and making children really first, they don't want you nowhere around. They don't want you nowhere around them, man. Because you know, you walk in the room, you got truth on your side. You got God on your side. So that's why I know I've been really blessed, man, that I've been able to accomplish the things that I've been able to accomplish, because you know what? Because I got truth on my side and I got God on my side, not in that particular order. Everything that you see, community involved, that the NFL is doing, the NBA is doing, Major League Baseball is doing, hockey is doing, tennis is doing, all that stuff started right here in Washington, D.C., man. I was the first one to bring pro athletes into the community, starting with Dave Bing in 1967, his rookie year, Then Willie Wood from the Green Bay Packers, Hall of Famer, both of them Hall of Famers, both of them from Washington, D.C. And Willie and I worked in the community together as roving leaders. So they were the first professional athletes to come out into the community and volunteer their services. Then the Washington Redskins followed their lead. Larry Brown, Roy Jefferson, Harold McClendon, Ted Vactor, Dave Robinson. Then I brought judges out into the community like my dear friend Luke Seymour, Harry T. Alexander. Man, the chief of police, Burt Tell Jefferson, the first black chief of police in D.C., you know, he knew about community relations. Him and my man, Tillman O'Brien, assistant chief. Man, them guys, they were about the community. So, man, that's why, you know, I'm just so happy and I'm so blessed that I decided to go ahead on and put this stuff up, man. You know, Muhammad Ali talks about friendship too. You know, if you got any friends, you can count them. I bet you can count them on one hand. Don't even take it. Think about the definition of friendship, what Muhammad Ali was talking about. You know, the most important sentence in there was, a friend is someone who's always doing something for you and never expecting anything in return. That's a real friendship, man. We got people out here who are scared to help others and scared to be associated with people who tell the truth. They run from you. But I'll tell you something. All my years and everything I've done in the community, touching thousands of children in the Washington, D.C., Maryland, and Virginia, benefited from kids in trouble, man. I never got a grant or a loan to help other young people. So yes, I owe a lot of credit. This credit goes to Muhammad Ali and Red Auerbach. You know, I didn't have to jump through hoops, like I said in an earlier video, and kiss their rings and kiss their asses. You know, they were real men. So I hope you guys enjoyed that little short piece interview. The next interview, I'll be talking with Muhammad Ali. We'll be talking about the difference between a boxer and a fighter. You know, this is the only part of the interview that we talked about boxing. And I think that was about 3 minutes, you know. But man, this brother was one of a kind. And he was not perfect. Make no mistake about it, he was not perfect. He had a lot of flaws. But man, he loved people of all colors. You know what I'm saying? All ethnic groups, all religions. He loved everybody. And I owe so much credit to his brother Rahman, who kept me in the mix, man. You know, Rahman told me, he said, Harold, you're the chosen one, not Howard Cosell. You are the chosen one. He has chosen you to support. Gene Kilroy, his business manager, another down dude. But, you know, that's life, man. You touch so many people, and a lot of times you don't know who you're touching when you're doing things from your heart. You just keep on no matter what goes down, no matter the negative things they be talking about you behind your back. You gotta believe in yourself. Well, that's going to be it for the Legends of Inside Sports and the way we were. Until next time, I'm Harold Bell, and you can color me gone.